episode of Beyond Borders, we're honored to introduce Nita Odedra, a seasoned professional with an impressive background in business development, revenue growth, and market expansion throughout the Middle East and the subcontinent. Nita holds a degree from Middlesex University, and her extensive career spans over 16 years within the corporate technology industry. Nita's journey has seen her collaborate with esteemed organizations like Gartner in the UK, where she focused on data centers, infrastructure, and operations management. Her deep passion for technology and operation efficiency has propelled her to introduce and implement innovative technologies and processes, including Salesforce CRM, across the Blue Rhine Group. Her remarkable ability to pinpoint business challenges and devise effective solutions has earned her trust and respect of clients in the region. This includes some prominent names such as Dubai Police, DIVA, DMCC, EMAR, and many more. Nita's philosophy centers around delivering value through practical, intelligent solutions that enhance operations and elevate the customer journey. Hi, Nita. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Ritika.
It's been amazing knowing your journey, and it has been a truly remarkable one. Can you share some key moments and experiences that shaped your career from the business development perspective? Because you do so many things.
Yeah. So I started my career, in the mid to late 2000s.
Okay.
It was a very different landscape back then to, the business world now. But I was incredibly fortunate that I went into the workforce with some incredible managers, and that's really made such a big difference to the way I approach my work, the support that I've had, and just being able to turn to these excellent managers or mentors on how to approach situations, how to be able to mentally also approach your work, because that's so important as well. And having a really healthy work-life balance, that's also been incredibly important, I think.
I think that's the only thing I keep wondering if I'll ever be able to achieve. I keep seeing all those posts on Instagram. Some tips how to achieve work-life balance.
Exactly. And there's so much online as well, be a boss girl, be this.
Yes.
And, wake up at 4 a.m. and, have a 17-hour day and hustle and grind and stuff. And I don't know whether that's so achievable, making work your entire life. I think it is important to obviously apply yourself, but, getting that balance is so important. And being passionate about what you do, I think that really translates into the quality of your work. It doesn't feel like work then most of the time. Also, you're enjoying the process. And moving to what you're doing currently, it's another very amazing thing where you're integrating technology. And I think you work across Middle East and a lot of other regions. So how did you change from your corporate job and get into a profile that you have currently, which is so amazing? You get to connect to people, you get to talk to people. So how do you make that switch? So my entire career has been, some sort of sales, marketing, branding. So, and it's always been within technology.
Right.
So I started with Sony Ericsson, which at the time was a, it was like the it phone to have. It was during one of those Bond movies.
I think they were the only ones who had the orange colors.
Yeah, they had the orange colors. There was a phone called the K800i, which was its kind of main handset at the time. But always digital transformation. I really enjoy that space.
Amazing.
Operational efficiency makes my world rock. So the transition's been slowly, moving from selling a product or service or a solution to an end client to now bringing awareness around solutions out there, having conversations like this, on the solutions that we as an organization offer, but also, in the wider landscape as well. educating the audience, educating the end client that, our product or service might just end here, but, there are so many other complementary solutions that will help them enhance their operational efficiency, help them raise their branding, awareness, etc.
True, and you're doing some phenomenal work at Redesigns, and you've worked with some key names in my research. It came up that you guys have done projects with Diva, Dubai Police, Emaar, and more. So would you like to talk about, because see, the audience always wants to know, sometimes we're really scared to approach bigger organizations. So probably a small roadmap of, how they can do it.
Yeah. So as you mentioned before, we are present across the entire GCC and North Africa. Headquartered in Dubai, and as a group we've been established for I think about 28 years, and this journey for the company has been with those tier 1 developers, as you mentioned, government, so Emaar, Majd Al Futtaim, we've got government, as you mentioned as well, semi-government, where we've been working with them on the adoption of technology to help them with their customer journey experience.
Right.
So, whether that's digital screens or the software to enhance the operations of those screens.
Right.
And then moving into technology to enhance customer experience using sensors, using RFID, using artificial intelligence, and, broadening our portfolio to have that reach. But how do we do that? I think it's one of those, once you can kind of really find your story with your solution in terms of what value are you bringing them. You've got to be really confident in the solution and the product. I'm actually bringing some value to you. You need our solution, you need our product.
Correct.
Then it becomes so much easier because
then it's an easy pitch, and then
exactly, you're not afraid, you're not nervous. When you first start sales, cold calling, you get so nervous from picking up the phone. Will they put the phone down? Do they want it? You've just got to go into it saying you've done enough research and your background work to know that they need this solution. There is a gap in their organization for the solution.
Fantastic. And talking about transformations, what is the most exciting project you've worked on? And I need all description about it, a complete story on the most interesting project you've worked on.
So one of the most interesting projects will probably be my first project that I did with Blue Rhine, which was Enoch petrol station. So not far from here in Internet City, they piloted the gas station with LED screens on the columns. So in the forecourt, they've clad the columns with LED screens. And that came about from a chance meeting with the MD, Zaid, at an event. And I was so naive to the whole digital signage world at the time. So I was like, you should have screens. And he was like, yeah, come in and see me. And I was like, you should put screens here, here, here. And he was like, yeah, okay, put a proposal together. And then I talked to my tech team, and they're like, wait, this is a gas station, it's highly flammable, and there are limitations, and it's a special product that we actually had to create for the gas station, develop, and we managed to do it, and we managed to turn it around in a record time for delivery as well. I think it was within 6 weeks. So I think that was really interesting.
So you guys manufacture as well? So you have your product range?
We have our OEM products. We have partners. We've strategic partners that we work with who supply us with the hardware. And then we have our own software. We have software partners. We do a little bit of development, integration to make those screens come to life.
Fantastic. And completely leaving work aside, on a personal level, how has technology transformed you in your lifestyle? What do you love the most about it?
Again, I think it goes back to operational efficiency. Anything that is technology that will make me faster, quicker, give me the agility, that's what I love. So whether it's, we probably remember the times before mobile apps. I barely remember a world without mobiles, but, without mobile apps, without having the internet, at your fingertips on a mobile device, I think that has definitely revolutionized the way that we all are able to be more productive in our own lives, in our, work lives. So I think that has been one of the key changes in the world. Like the internet came very young. So my family were early adopters of, tech, let's just say. So we had the
When
internet.
did you get your first computer? Which grade were you in?
I mean, we were very young when we had we had computers in the house,
grade,
like
third grade, fourth.
We have a different system in the UK, but probably, since we were about, that high, we've been doing computers at school, we had computers at home, we had the internet by the time I was about 9, 10.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I'm not trying to back calculate your age, but so you have been
AOL
early
days
adopters.
and stuff, yeah. So we had the internet quite young, and I remember doing my homework.
Did that
we had those
amuse you?
encyclopedia CDs and stuff. So we're talking about the early 90s here.
Oh, yeah. So that kind of shaped your personal journey also in the tech space, right?
Absolutely.
Growing up, the exposure you got there. Okay, coming to what's next, what is exciting in your workspace and in general, and any one project you would like to highlight which is coming soon?
Yeah. So there's a number of projects I can't talk about, but I can definitely talk about the types of technologies that we'll be seeing.
Yeah.
So definitely adoption of AI. And when we look at AI, we're talking about specifically computer vision that is integrated with screens. Right. So things like facial recognition for hyper-personalized experiences. This is going to be revolutionizing the way that the customer experiences the whole journey. So being able to use your mobile device to be able to register using facial recognition, arriving somewhere and having that fully autonomous, seamless experience, whether that's in entertainment in a theme park and your ticket is no longer a physical ticket, it's your facial ID. So as soon as you arrive, the boom barrier for the car park reading the number plate, allowing you access to your car parking space, helping you navigate to the best space for your point of interest. By point of interest I mean what your destination is, where you're going. Then as soon as you arrive somewhere, using the facial recognition for the access, so where you've got those turnstile access, using facial recognition for that by pre-registering to something instead of scanning a code. At the moment, we already see a shift from someone scanning, looking at something, to like as when you're at the airport, very
no
similar
touch
to that.
also.
Exactly. Contactless, seamless, autonomous experiences. So we're going to see a lot more of that kind of trickle into entertainment, into venues. When you think of stadiums and, which gate do you enter from? How do I get to my seat? And having that experience not only on the screens and at those various digital touch points, but also on a mobile device. Because now we're looking at the next generation that have everything at their fingertips and they don't want to go somewhere and type in where they're meant to be going. It needs to be completely intuitive and minimal clicks and just already have that predictive capability of knowing where they're going, what they're doing, what will they like, if they've been to an entertainment venue before. So let's say if it's a cinema and they're returning to the cinema, knowing, Ritika, you had last time the cheesy nachos with the popcorn and a Diet Coke, repeat the order, like you do on the McDonald's app, for example. But having that applied to F&B.
I think that is what AI is going to do. On a mass level, we can really integrate these technologies. I mean, you're working on it. That's fantastic. But there are virtual... I mean, shopping will become much more nicer in the coming years.
Exactly.
Because I'm not a retail shopper, so I absolutely hate that experience of entering a mall. But the generation to come, they grew up playing Roblox. They're literally on the internet all the time. They are not going to a mall, right?
Exactly.
They are shopping either on e-commerce. And the second it becomes more immersive and, as you said, predictive, it's going to be amazing. And having a face recognition ID at a store where I've already bought XYZ thing and they have all my body information. And with AI, you can in seconds change that as well, right? You just type in
Absolutely.
your current measurements. So I can see limitless possibilities in this space. But if you want to leave the audience with that one thing that is going to change in general, just transform the world, what would that be? It could be a hardware or software or anything.
Yeah. I think it's a really interesting space that we're entering into, especially with Web3. And, we'll be talking about this next week in more detail. And there's such an interesting conversation to be had there on Web3 and how that's going to revolutionize industries like retail that you touched upon just now. And, that retail experience for the Gen Z and, generations to follow, where they are expecting a seamless journey from their metaverse experience, their online experience into physical spaces. And it will be that bridge, that's the challenge right now. It will be bridging that space. And in places like retail stores, it will be creating those phygital stores. So creating a kind of, it will be an offline, it's an online and offline experience, but within a physical space. And that will be through the use of augmented reality, having, real-time information in that augmented reality experience, where you are having the devices to hand, and part of your shopping experience will be using your mobile devices, your personal devices in that physical store. And, not necessarily making your purchases in store, but being able to have the data, as you said, so as soon as you arrive, it knows, Ritika's arrived, she was browsing XYZ. Hey, we want to show you that product that, you are browsing. And then continuing that when you leave the store as well, back online.
So you have a personal shopping assistant right there.
Exactly. And it's all going to be, AI generated. And it's about, the conversation we're having a long time ago, that big data, like how do you, embrace all that data to help organizations make data-driven decisions. Absolutely. And I'm shamelessly going to plug in that we are going to explore all of this at our event. And so we do have an AR expert who's going to create, while the speakers are speaking, the entire environment, we're going to have AR overlays in the venue. I saw a preview of it. I think I saw a post and I saw a little preview of it. So I'm very excited.
And then we'll have in-store shopping. We have some really amazing European brands. For them, we've built digital twins. There are a few Indian brands coming in. So I'm very excited to showcase the possibilities. And we would have you as a speaker there. So look forward to that.
Yeah, I'm excited to, come and experience those technologies and, it's partners that you've got on board that are going to be able to help retailers, create these online spaces and experiences. So I think it's going to be a fantastic event. And I think there's so much to talk about in that space.
I look forward to it. Thank you for doing this. Your journey has been incredible in this space. And with your insights today, I'm sure the audience got to know a little bit more about, everybody wants to get into this space and somehow they're not born with it. But it's also an acquired skill to a great extent. You can sell tech in very different way, right?
If I was just to kind of give any advice to to people, do something that you're passionate about. And within that space, there are so many different types of roles. So if you're in technology, there's the sales part, there's the operational part, there is the actual development part, there's the strategy, there's the R&D. There's so many different fields that you can go into within the kind of field of your passion. So find what your skill set is. If you're great at organizing things, then, and you love putting together, there's events like yourself, you're hosting events, you're hosting the podcast, you're creating stories, so if that's what you're good at, you can do that within your field. If you're a developer, work for a company where you're going to be developing something that you're passionate about. If you're going to be selling something, sell something you're passionate about, because otherwise people know when you're selling something that you don't believe in.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I completely agree to this. Thank you, Nita. It was incredible that you shared our journey on Beyond Borders. To all our listeners, we encourage you to stay tuned because we have an amazing line of speakers talking about technology, AI, metaverse, a little bit of design and luxury. So stay tuned for the next episode.